in relation to competition, right? You were saying that you appreciate if guys try and compete with you if it brings out the best of them, but you're just happy to do the best you can.
Yeah. So, just to give some context to the people listening, Jordan asked me what I thought about competition, and I told him I didn't care about competition because for me, it was always sort of doing the best that I could. It was never really sort of me comparing myself to others and ensuring that my position is dependent on how relative I am to other people. It's always sort of been, if I do the best that I can, I'm always going to be happy regardless if I'm first or I'm last. As long as I did the best that I could, I will be happy. And that's always been a mentality for me. But I know that mentality is not the same for other people. Some other people sort of want to be above you. Some people push themselves because of me. So some people would push themselves because of yourself. And I'm not going to put them down because of that. So, for example, if someone, let's say in class, someone wants to get a better grade than you and you're sort of like their motivation to doing that, I will let myself be their competition. I will be competition for them to push them to do better because like at least my friends are doing better because of me. At least I'm helping them push themselves harder and work harder. But for me, it's never been my motivation. Then been the people around me to push them myself because of them. I've always been pushing myself to be the best that I could. So if I'm the best that I can and I'm putting the hardest work that I can for myself, I know that, for example, the people around me that use me as competition or sort of use me as motivation, I am also pushing them forward because of my work. So it's always about how can I help the people around me and how can I help myself. But I've never liked comparing myself with other people because, say, for example, I base myself on how smart I am. There will be someone smarter than me, 100%. And eventually, like, I could be the smartest in my class. There'll be someone smarter than me in my school. If I'm the smartest in my school, there'll be someone smarter than me in the country or the city or the world. Like, there will always be someone better than you at one aspect that you think you're good at. Unless you're Cristiano Ronaldo, which you're probably not. And in which case, if Cristiano Ronaldo's listening to this, hit me up. My Instagram's down below. But yeah, just like in that case, like it's very rare to be the best in the world. Like you're one in 7, 8 billion, which is ridiculously rare. So you will always meet someone that's going to be better than you at one aspect. So for me, like comparing myself to other people and basing my self-worth on that wasn't really a route that I wanted to take. So it was sort of just, as long as I do the best that I can for myself, I'll always be happy with myself.
I hear that, man. And I think Brian had an interesting take on that as well from, I think, was it Outliers? He also talks about these different books that he's reading. And it's like, there's always someone that, even the people that are doing better than you, there's always an outlier that had it's a crazy set of circumstances. Like maybe you didn't get into Oxford even though you got 3 stars, but there was one guy who had like 20 billion pounds and knows the senior faculty member and all this stuff. But there's always someone who has an advantage, even environmentally, let alone their, individual skill set. Like, if you're always comparing to someone else, you're never going to win that battle. And I think you said that, you put that very well.
Yeah.
In what you said as well. Like, it's more about being better than yourself.
Yeah. And I'm linking this to J. Cole because J. Cole the GOAT.
Come on.
Because I remember him saying, like, for example, like if you base your self-worth on materialistic goods as well, for example, if you base it on, let's say, trying to get your first million, as soon as you get your first million, you're not going to be like, all right, I'm there, I'm happy now. You're still going to want to chase your next million. And after you get that, you're going to be sort of chasing the next million. And say, for example, it's not £1 million. Say you're chasing a car. Once you want this dream car, you're going to once you reach that dream car, it's not like you're going to be eternally happy. You're sort of going to be chasing another car. Or, for example, if you have one house, maybe you want another house, or you're sort of continuously chasing and continuously moving in that direction. And you're sort of never really satisfied in that aspect, in my opinion. And you sort of need to base your happiness and your self-worth in the things that are sort of the intangibles, like your friends, your family, your relationships, like as in like the things that truly make you happy. I'm not saying that like some people's family aren't like the best. That's fair. That happens too. That's a fact. It's sort of just being in an environment that's good for you, that's happy for you, and like 100%, you will never always be happy. That's never a sort of thing. It's always about like, happiness is sort of a peak and it sort of goes up in peaks, and then you've got the troughs with it as well. And it's sort of ensuring that you're in that, you're always sort of like aiming for that middle point, that sort of point of like, of contentment rather than happiness. You're sort of in that middle ground where you're sort of, not that middle ground, that bit above the middle ground, but just a bit below the peak. So you're always sort of in that stability region. That's always the way I've thought about like being happy and sort of being satisfied. And it's just contentment.
Yeah, I wrote that. That kind of makes me want to retract my point before on, physical reward versus emotional reward, because like when you think of cars and houses and all this materialistic stuff, that's all literally you're driven by the physical reward of having this fancy car, but fundamentally it does always come down to like what I don't want to say impact. I don't really like the word impact. But, what have you actually done? What have you actually stood for? When you someone said it to me a while back, and it's like, I think like your gravestone quote or something. Like, what's going to be on your gravestone? What are people going to remember you by? And that's always something that drives me. Like, what am I going to be remembered by? Because I hope it's not, buying a Tesla at 22.
That can be lit. That'll be kind of lit though still. Imagine on your team something just says, bought a Tesla at 22, bought a Lambo at 24. That's him. No, I feel you, but I think just deeper than like your sort of gravestone quote, it's sort of, like impact on the world is sort of like I think that's sort of a bit of a self-gratifying type thing. It's not really about your impact on the world. For me, it's sort of been like the impact on the people around you, like, and I'm not saying this in the instance where you pass away. I'm thinking of it just in a daily basis. Like, do you have a positive impact or a positive relationship with the people around you? Do you push your friends and do you push your family to be better because you're around? Like, do you help them become better people? Do they help you become better people, or better person? Sorry. Like, how does that work and how does that dynamic function? And if it doesn't, then that's something you need to consider. But I think it's just about like on a daily basis, like how am I helping the people? Not like, I don't think you need to be obligated to continuously help the people around you as well. That's not something that's obligatory upon you, but it's sort of like, do you have a positive impact on the people around you? Like, are they better people? Are they happier? Are they sort of functioning better in life? Are they happy all around sort of type thing where like, it's tough to sort of like determine this, but it's sort of just, are you in the right environment for yourself?